he softens up the country cognitively and psychologically, readying it for the communist dictatorship that he seeks to impose. Now, some readers assume, and we touched on this earlier, but in this class, but let me come back to it. Some readers assume that because of Toohey's power over men, he is therefore morally or psychologically a strong person. And nothing can be further from the truth. Toohey is, in fact, by far, by whole orders of magnitude, the weakest person in the universe of the story, both psychologically and morally. The main point is that the book dramatizes the virtue of independence, the life-giving virtue of independence, showing it as a requirement of human life. And conversely, that cognitive and psychological dependence is destructive in human life. You can't live this way. Notice that Toohey is the most utterly dependent character in the story. His entire existence, without exception, is devoted to the plots, the schemes, the manipulations and machinations necessary to gain spiritual and political control over other men. Toohey is utterly incapable of dealing firsthand with metaphysical reality. He possesses not the faintest spark of creativity. His reality is utterly social, even more so than Keating's. Toohey is incapable so much as hammering nails into wood to build a chair. He can't do that, much less design or physically construct a building. He, even more than Keating, represents the antithesis of Roark's creative genius. Observe that everything he is and everything he does depends on others. He critiques the work of others by reference to aesthetic and moral theories developed by still others in order to enslave yet others. Even Keating designs buildings, however ineptly. And even Keating can love a woman, however tragically. But Toohey is not capable even of these achievements. In a literal sense, with no element of hyperbole, Toohey holds no values. Consequently, he has no passion in his soul, not a trace of what Roark feels for buildings. He is incapable of loving a woman or anyone. Notice that Ayn Rand shows him as being asexual. He has no capacity to have a love relationship. He has no values. He can't possibly love anything. Words like passion and love are empty concepts to him. I mean, he might be able to give their intellectual definitions, but he has no instances of them in his own first-hand experience. He has literally never felt them. Literally, he's never felt those emotions. Now observe that because of such an egregious failing, he utterly misunderstands Dominique's relationship with Roark and her subsequent actions. He thinks that Dominique seeks to wreck Roark's career because he sees Dominique as a woman scorned. Because he thinks of Roark as some kind of ascetic monk of architecture who rejects her. And Toohey cannot conceive of either Roark's feelings for Dominique nor the kind of nights that they spent together. I mean, Toohey just can't conceive of this. And after expressing his understanding of the Roark-Dominique relationship, he's puzzled by Dominique's contemptuous response, which he says, maybe you're not as smart as I thought you were, Ellsworth. All right, so I'm not done with Toohey yet. I have a few last points I want to make. But why don't we draw a line here, take 10, we'll come back, and we'll finish up with Toohey.